I think we're all feeling it, huh? California, it feels like this whole state is just, the wheels are falling off. And we're tired of this. We're tired of paying so much in taxes and having our roads just full of holes. We're tired of seeing our corrupt politicians enrich themselves. This state has had one-party rule for the last 60 years under the Democrats. And right now, they're about to consolidate their power. They're about to eliminate 4 congressional seats. Okay, we're going to go down out of 52 seats. We're going to go down. We're only going to have 2.
Yeah.
About 40% of this state is Republican. We do not have equal representation in this state. There isn't equal representation of ideas. That's why I decided to run in one of the bluest districts. My district went from D plus 27 to from D plus 23 to D plus 37. That means that for every 37 Democrats, there's 1 Republican. But let me tell you something, folks. That's a smokescreen. That's a smokescreen, because we've seen numerous Republican candidates push through and puncture that sort of the appearance of dominance. We've seen Elizabeth Wong-Allers do that. That was a D plus 23 district. She lost by 3 points. So it's absolutely possible. We've seen the inverse of this happen in Tennessee, where an extremely disliked Democrat congressional candidate broke through. It was a D plus 23, an R plus 23 district, and she closed that gap to almost nothing. She almost won that seat, even though she said she hated the city that she was in. So it's possible. And how are we going to do that? We're all going to go out, we're all going to vote. Not just us, but we're going to get everybody we know to go out and to vote. And we're going to gather ballots, and we're going to tell our friends, anybody that you know, any Democrat, any no party preference, any independent, you have to tell them, if you want things to change, you have to start voting differently. That's the only way we're going to change this state. You have to start voting differently. You have to leave the partisan politics behind. We need equal representation in this state. We need policies that represent Americans. We can't keep sending our money abroad. We can't keep paying taxes out the wazoo and not seeing it improve our quality of life. I'm sick of that. I don't know. You guys are okay with that?
Yeah.
You're okay with that? He's a troll, okay? He's a troll. Nobody's okay with that. Nobody is okay with that. All right, we're sick and tired. We want to take our state back. We want to have safe streets. We want to have good schooling. We want to pay low taxes. That's possible. There's so many states in this country that pay almost nothing in taxes, and they get a return on it. They have good streets. They have good schools. We can do that in California. It's absolutely possible. That means that we have to break the Democrat hegemony that has this state by the stronghold. Like, just they're holding on to the state for dear life. Because guess what? We flip 10 seats in this state. That's a generational loss for them. That means that we hold on to Congress for a generation, because it's not easy to flip seats. Trust me, I'm in this race. You gotta drive around town. You gotta meet a lot of people. You gotta introduce yourself. Okay? They don't want to do the work. In fact, my opponent, Laura Friedman, she's more concerned about ballot harvesting than actually going out into her community. You know, I actually went to her temple this past week. The last time she went to temple in her district was 6 years ago. I've gone to her temple more often than she has, and I'm a Catholic. Okay? These people don't care about us. They care about power, they care about money, and they're using us. They're using our labor. Okay? They're using us to enrich themselves. That's how you get Ilhan Omar getting into office with a negative net worth of $45,000 and within a couple of years being worth more than $20 million. That's how you get Ayanna Pressley going in with a net worth of $12,000 and being worth over $30 million with 5 properties in just a couple of years. That's how you get Nancy Pelosi being a multi-millionaire. That needs to stop, folks. That has to stop. We need people who have service as their primary motivation to be in office. We need to end insider trading.
Yes.
We need to end this crony capitalism where you have people like Gavin Newsom getting paid by the NGOs that he's creating a market for. He made $317 million in 1 year. Money funneled from NGOs that he funded that then went to fund his campaigns. We need to get these corrupt politicians out, and we have to stop talking about it, and we have to start doing it. We really do. We have to be out. We have to be doing these kinds of things. So thank you, Shiva, for putting this together. Thank you. Yes, give it up for Shiva. You know, it's very brave to come out to a super blue area like this and consistently do events like this, but Shiva has been doing it.
Well, this was red. This is red.
This is red now, but primarily because of Shiva. Because when you started it, this was blue. This was blue. So that goes to show you that it's possible to change. We can change these things. We just have to show them that we're not scared, we're not leaving, and that we're going to take this country back. We are. Exactly. Rolando gets it. We're taking this country back. Okay? So a lot of the things that concern my constituents, I'm running in District 30. That's Adam Schiff's old seat. It overlaps with what other Californians are feeling as well. I go door knocking in Burbank and Glendale, and I hear it. It's the cost of living. It's public safety is a big issue, and corruption, primarily involving homelessness. We're all sick of it. We've seen it. We have to hold them accountable. Once I'm in Congress, I'm going to bully these people. Okay? I'm going to bully all the politicians you dislike. I'm going to bully them and hold them accountable. They are all, if we find that any federal money has been spent in this homelessness grift, they are all going to prison. As long as I'm alive, I'm going to see that these people, they're humiliated on TV, that they go to prison, and you know, they learn a lesson. It'll be literally determined by example. Nobody else is going to want that. We need to put our foot down immediately. It's over. We need to take care of Americans first. We need to take care of Americans first. We're sick of this. I'm sick of this. When it comes to cost of living, California is running a historic deficit. Our state wouldn't be solvent if we weren't getting $36 billion a year from the federal government. So guess what we're going to do? Congress holds the purse. We're going to tie every single penny in those $36 billion to policy that forces the state to lower taxes, that forces the state to deregulate, so that when you try to do anything in your home, you don't have to have 30 people coming in this inspection grift, okay, forcing you to pay so you can just change the wallpaper. You know, it's incredible. The level of corruption is transcendent in this state. Okay, now I want to take a few questions. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them. Go ahead.
Aren't tariffs kind of increasing the cost of living? I mean, think about it. Tariffs, they tax you as tariffs work as an import tax. I know my mom works on buildings, and a lot of them are actually to do with tariffs. So wouldn't we also try to reduce tariffs if they are import tax? I know how the trade works.
Well, tariff is an executive order. As a member of Congress, there's nothing I can do about it. It was passed by the president. I can tell you, though, that I've signed a pledge that I will vote against any bill that raises your federal taxes. So as long as I'm in Congress, I will vote against any bill, and I will force them to lower taxes on the state level. Here's something insane, okay, that I just found out the other day. You know why our gas prices are so high? Not just because of the environmental policies that are forcing these refineries to close. Our gas prices are so high because we have that 90-cent fee that's added to every to the overall cost of gas. But on top of that, we have federal taxes, and then we have state taxes charged on top of the federal taxes and the fee and the price, and then we have sales tax. So we're paying, the government is triple dipping on your gas. That's how much we're paying, and we're seeing so little of it returned. So what I will do is I will remove that federal tax, and I will force the state to cut at least one of those taxes. You can't double dip on Californians. Go ahead.
Do you have anything to do, because I live in Adam Schiff's district.
Yes.
Spin out. But I wanted to know, is there anything you can do to help with our entertainment industry? Because I'm in the entertainment industry, and there's a local group that is called Stay in LA, and they've gone they've gone up north, they've talked to the state assembly people, they've talked to a lot of people, and they're really making a lot of positive, bringing it back, getting Newsom to sign the tax credits. I don't know if that's something you have power to do, or if that was more something earlier.
Well, what I can tell you is I've had a lot of conversations with different people from the entertainment industry. I've spoken to a guy who's a storyboard artist. He's very concerned. His job's about to be eliminated by AI. I've spoken to a guy who oversees, he's an executive, he oversees one of Warner Brothers' entire special effects department. That, you know, whenever you watch a movie, the largest section of the credits, it's all special effects. Most of those jobs are about to be eliminated. Now, one of my ideas for that is we can designate these federal grants to retrain people so they can prepare themselves for this transition. It's going to happen, unfortunately. There's nothing we can do about the AI that's coming in and all these people that are going to be displaced. So,
right, but I'm not as concerned about AI as everybody else is.
You want to bring the business back to California.
I want to bring the business back, and you know, there's this whole thing about we're losing all this money because it's cheaper. They're getting better tax incentives everywhere else.
Yeah.
So the tax incentives that we have here and the local red tape that Karen, just to save face after the fire, said she would do to try and bring the permit costs when we shoot commercials. I do commercials.
Yeah.
They're making headway for film and television, not so much for commercials. And it has affected us since the strike that happened almost 3 years ago. So it's getting worse every year. It's not like we've rebounded, and then the fires just did not help us at all. So we need better tax credits here.
Yeah. Well, I'd be happy to author or co-author a bill that would bring in flood money into the state and the county to help that out. And I'd look forward to cooperating with, you know, Mayor Karen Bass if she would want to cooperate. But maybe one thing we can do, is tie those federal funds to policy that will force them to cut more regulations. Help people with the fires. Yeah, we need to do that as well.
You promised to clarify when we voted in 2008, you know, for the $12 billion for the rail from San Francisco here.
Yes.
Rail, and then clarify where that money went, you know, and then the other $33 billion that just disappeared.
Yeah.
How can you promise to clarify this big?
Of course, yeah, we're going to look into it. Every single big corruption scheme that you've heard that's come out of California, we're going to look if any federal money has been spent in any of those projects. We're going to hold all of those people accountable. They're all going to go to prison, and I'm going to bully them. I'm going to bring them to Capitol Hill, and I'm going to bully them individually. I will humiliate them for your pleasure. So,
we'll be there cheering you on.
yeah. Am I a dreamer? In what sense? Do I?
I've been for 45 years in California, in this country.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to be American by choice. But nobody in any federal, local, state office represents really the people.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, our Congress is bought and paid for.
Are you ready to see
Yes.
separated? No, separated.
Separate?
Create a new,
You want a third party?
no, California.
California? Oh, you want California to leave the United States? That's a little bit of a radical move. I don't know if I can, as a congressman, I cannot do that. It's outside of the scope of my authority.
No more federal taxes.
Yeah, well, you know, our federal taxes are pretty low. It's mostly the state and county taxes that are high.
That is another idea. Another time.
Texas pay lower than half that we pay for the federal.
Yeah, we also get $36 billion in federal grants every year. Without that money, the state would be insolvent. Go ahead.
Speaking of people going to jail, with the latest batch of the Epstein files released, how can we prevent this from happening again?
Well, we need a full investigation. We need to hold everybody accountable. We need full transparency as far as what's in those files. We need to publicize it as much as possible. Yeah.